Thanks for tuning in to your daily dose of quick real estate updates, local housing trends, and market data, plus tips, tools, and strategies to help you buy, rent, or invest with confidence. You're now getting ready with RealiCare Reports, powered by the innovation team, Cami and Rex. Now go grab your favorite morning beverage, whether that's coffee or tea, and let's enjoy this episode.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting right into the Palm Bay real estate market. We're looking at the whole story, really, from 2018 right up to where we are now, partway through 2025.
Yep, quite a span of time. Lots of changes.
Exactly. And our goal is, well, pretty simple. Pull out the key stuff you need to understand what's actually happening on the ground there now.
So we've looked at things like average sale price, naturally.
Right, and price per square foot, too. Plus, how many homes are selling the volume and how fast they're moving, days on market.
And that sold-to-list ratio, which is always telling, basically how close sellers are getting to their asking price.
We'll break down those, steadier years before the pandemic hit.
Then that wild surge during.
Followed by the cool down and, well, this sort of stabilization phase we seem to be in now. Okay, let's get into it.
Right, so the first thing that just jumps out is the overall price growth. It's significant.
How significant are we talking?
Well, look, the average sale price in Palm Bay went from around, say, $189,000 back in 2018 to about $341,000 year-to-date in 2025.
Wow, that's nearly double, about 80% growth then.
Yeah, roughly 80%. So the main headline for you is definitely major growth over that period. But the really rapid climb, that seems to have leveled off more recently.
Yeah, exactly. That peak period, 2021 into 2022, that was really something else, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Intense.
But it's interesting, like you said, since 2023, things haven't kept climbing quite so steeply. It feels different now.
It is different, but, we dig a bit deeper into the numbers. Something interesting emerges with the price per square foot.
Okay.
Even while that overall average price growth slowed down, the price per square foot, it's actually kept ticking upwards pretty consistently.
Really? So what did that look like?
It went from about $115 per square foot in 2018 up to between $191 and $197 more recently in 2023 through now.
So what does that actually tell us?
Well, I think the key takeaway there is that even with slower headline price growth, the fundamental value, like the inherent worth of the real estate per square foot in Palm Bay, it's continued to appreciate strongly.
That's a really crucial distinction. The underlying value is still climbing. Okay, let's maybe shift gears to activity. How many homes are actually changing hands?
Yeah, activity levels tell another part of the story. We saw the absolute peak in total sales volume back in 2022.
How high did it get?
It topped $1.075 billion that year. A lot of money moving.
$1 billion, wow. And more recently, you mentioned the 2025 YTD data.
Right, so far this year, we've seen about 810 closings. Now, that might sound lower compared to the peak.
It does, yeah.
But it's really important to remember, we're only partway through 2025. We need the full year's data to, really compare apples to apples on the current pace.
Good point. Need that full picture. But what about how quickly homes are selling? That feels like it's changed dramatically.
Oh, absolutely. The days on market, or DOM, that metric tells that story very clearly.
I remember back in the 2021, 2022 frenzy, things were moving instantly.
They really were. The median days on market back then was just 7 to 11 days.
A week or two? Incredible.
And now we're looking at a median time frame of 29 to 57 days lately.
Okay, so significantly longer, a month or two sometimes.
That jump in how long homes sit on the market, that's a classic indicator that the market has cooled down from that boiling point.
Makes sense. Buyers aren't feeling quite the same pressure.
Exactly. They have more time to look, to consider, maybe even negotiate, which brings us to that sold-to-list ratio.
Right. How close are sellers getting to their asking price? That must have changed too.
Big change. During that peak, 2021, 2022, it wasn't uncommon for homes to sell at asking price, or sometimes even significantly above. The ratio was often 100% or slightly more.
Bidding wars, essentially.
Pretty much. But now, fast forward to 2024 and into 2025, and that ratio has dipped. It's sitting around 97 to 98%.
So sellers are getting, on average, maybe 2-3% less than their initial list price. What does that mean for you if you're looking to buy?
It really means there's more room for negotiation. Definitely. Buyers seem to have a bit more leverage than they did a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And sellers appear more willing, or perhaps needing, to accept offers that are a bit below that first price tag.
So let's maybe pull this together a bit. We've seen these distinct phases, haven't we?
Absolutely. You had the sort of steady, normal market pre-pandemic.
Right.
Then the pandemic boom,
Yeah.
rapid price spikes, super fast sales.
The frenzy.
Then a definite cooling period as things started to shift.
Mhm.
And now, it feels like a stabilization. A price growth is moderated, sales pace is more normal, although it's crucial to remember overall values are still way higher than they were pre-pandemic.
Okay, so for you, the listener, if you're maybe thinking about buying or investing in Palm Bay in 2025, what does this current situation, this stabilization, actually mean in practical terms? Sounds like the dynamics have shifted.
They really have. And this current phase, it actually offers some, I think, real opportunities.
Like what?
Well, first, that increased negotiation power we just talked about. It means you might get a better price.
Okay.
Or maybe even get the seller to agree to some concessions.
What kind of concessions?
Things like maybe help towards your closing costs, or perhaps agreeing to handle certain repairs before closing. Stuff that saves you money up front.
That can make a big difference.
For sure.
Yeah.
Plus, the fact that prices aren't shooting up wildly anymore gives you more predictability. You're not chasing a rapidly moving target quite so much.
Right, less frantic.
And with homes taking longer to sell that higher DOM, you just have more inventory to look at, generally speaking, and more time to make a considered decision. You're less likely to feel rushed.
More breathing room.
Exactly. And, it's fascinating. Some data suggests that those homes that have been sitting on the market a bit longer, say maybe 60 days or more, they might represent particularly good value right now. Sellers might be more motivated.
Interesting. So potential hidden gems there if you look closely. Okay, so the big picture then. Palm Bay definitely saw that huge run-up in prices over the last few years, no doubt about it.
Significant growth.
But the market now seems to have settled. It's more balanced, maybe, creating a new set of conditions and potentially some advantages for buyers or investors that weren't there a year or two ago.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Which, it really raises an interesting question for you to mull over.
Go on.
Considering these trends, the stabilization, the negotiation room, the slower pace, what specific types of properties, or perhaps even certain neighborhoods within Palm Bay, might offer the most compelling opportunities for you right now. And maybe what extra digging or research could really pay off as you navigate this kind of evolving market. Something to think about.
Well, that wraps up today's episode of RealiCare Reports, where real estate meets real life. For more updates, tools, and insights that will help you buy, rent, or invest with confidence, be sure to follow, subscribe, stay connected, stay informed, and stay ready. Until next time.